we will be concluding the session on a very important topic. So before we begin our session, let's offer our prayers to Prabhupada and Lord Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandrodaya Ki Jai Shri Nitai Gauranga Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So welcome for the session on science of self-realization, which the topic which we are discussing is since a few sessions, is a topic which Prabhupada had spoken as a conversation, which is recorded for one of the leading journals of India, known as Bhavan's Journal in 1976 in Bombay. So the interviewer had few questions and Prabhupada was answering those questions. And this topic, which we have been discussing since last few sessions, is on human society or animal society. What is the present situation in the world, what we are experiencing. This will be a concluding session, as I told you. And all these teachings are happening by the inspiration of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of Iskcon, the worldwide Hare Krishna movement, who has so mercifully given us these teachings recorded for our constant reference. In the scriptures, it is mentioned that when you hear from a pure devotee constantly, continuously, your heart will be cleansed or purified. That is the only process to come out of the contaminated consciousness. Right? So this is the way which Prabhupada had that way envisioned. In the future, technological advancement will happen. Prabhupada had recorded every aspect of his teachings to anybody, for that matter. And all that is available in a digital form for us, for our usage. So this 1976 recording, we are discussing in the last few sessions. We'll just take a quick recap on what we understood in the previous sessions. Last three parts. The first question of this interviewer was regarding the declining aspect of religion in the age of Kali. Religion is on decline. He was what is the reason, he was asking. Prabhupada said, the main reason is that people in Kali Yuga, the symptoms of Kali Yuga are such that there will be decline in many aspects. One of the main aspects is religion, and there are so many other things like truthfulness, compassion. Even the age of people will start decreasing, their strength. Like this, Prabhupada quoted from Bhagavata to explain that how all these things are already predicted in the scriptures. It's not that it is happening simply without any hint or without any clue. It is all happening as per the scriptural indications. Nevertheless, Prabhupada also pointed out, even though age of Kali is symptomized by adharma, irreligion, but right now people also, people have that free will to practice religion. They are not following. Rather, they're living a life like animals, right? And animal life means it is an unhappy life, Prabhupada said. And actually, religion, Prabhupada explained in this context, that it means order of God. Whatever God has given as directions, instructions to be followed, especially in human form of life, is what religion constitutes. And right now, people are not even aware of those orders and forget about God. So that is the reason there is a decline in religion, and this is actually degrading the humanity. This was the first question. And the second question the interviewer asked was about, is Vedic culture fatalistic? Means it is actually a lot of rituals, a lot of rules, regulations is binding the human being, or it is actually a lot of traditions we are obliged to follow, because of which looks like we're not able to progress very fast like the other countries. This was the charge, out of a allegation. But the culture is not encouraging us to progress very quickly. This was the charge. So Prabhupada very nicely explained. Actually, human life is not meant for progress like animals. Human life is meant for spiritual progress. Right? Prabhupada gave a very classic example of how a dog is running on 4 legs and you're running on 4 wheels. So what is the difference? You are just running in a car very swiftly so that you can move on. But the point is, you're also running like a dog, but you're competing with, and rather you're competing with all the other animals with regard to gratifying your senses. Right? So when Prabhupada was explaining like this, the interviewer was very curious to understand more what Prabhupada is trying to tell. Prabhupada said, actually, the Bhagavata says that human life is obtained after many, many cycles of births and deaths. The evolutionary cycle of 84 lakh species. Finally, you get a human form of life. So it's a very rare opportunity we have got. So Bhagavata says, the human life, if you simply utilize for, again, for gratifying your senses like in any other species of life, then the purpose of human life is defeated. Narada Muni says that taseva hetu prayateta kovida. You become intelligent and philosophically inclined to understand the purpose of human life. Purpose of human life is not just to indulge yourself in gratifying your senses more and more and trying to enhance the material comforts of life. And in the name of progress, you want to have more and more facilities with regard to increasing the industrial setup, or having smart cities, or having big roads. That's what you think is progress. That is not actually progress, Prabhupada says. Because maybe animals are also doing it in a very primitive way, but you as humans are spending your time, energy for all these things for ultimately same comfort. Prabhupada gives example of how in Bhagavatam it is mentioned, whatever pleasure, whether humans or animals experience with regard to eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, is all actually, in one sense, it is stored up. Pleasure is stored up and it is destined. So Prabhupada brings up the concept of destiny. In the whatever form of life you get, the destiny of what happiness and what distress you're going to experience is fixed up. Prabhupada gives example of a pig. A pig has a specific type of a body wherein he is destined to enjoy his life with regard to eating stool. Right? So Prabhupada is challenging that can any scientist or a doctor operate on the pig and make it so that it starts eating, it starts changing its eating habits? Not possible. So this is called destiny, which means with every body, there is a set of happiness and distress experiences, which is all packed up or stored up. This is how everybody's life is. So Prabhupada is very nicely pointing out, the Vedic civilization is not to further enhance your material happiness or decrease material distress. Endeavoring in that direction is of no use. It's a waste of time. Whatever you do, you cannot increase even little percentage of it. What has to come as happiness, what has to come as distress is all stored up, is all fixed up. That is called destiny. So Prabhupada very nicely explains the concept of destiny, and further discussions is going on with regard to what is destiny, right? So Prabhupada further explains that how sometimes this interviewer was again and again asking many follow-up questions. So it is good that people work hard. In the modern context, people think should work hard and earn money, then progress in life. That's what people think. Prabhupada says, this is what the Bhagavad Gita Krishna explains, that people are like mudha. Mudha means asses. Ass also is working very hard for its washerman whole day and night, carrying loads and tons of laundry on its back. And it is very satisfied that it is getting a morsel of grass, which the master is giving. But as is so dull and dumb, it doesn't know the grass is abundantly available everywhere. So Prabhupada gives a similar example to the modern day man, how he is very busy working in his factories, industries, offices, or businesses. So busy that when we approach such people, they say, we don't have time. And with their business, so much busy they are that they are trying to earn more and more money. Their happiness is, today in my bank account, this was the balance, and after 1 month, the balance has doubled. Money has doubled. This is going to give a lot of satisfaction. Money has doubled, but the amount of food what is going to eat is going to reduce further because it's taking so much of tensions, so much of anxiety. I was just hearing recently on Prabhupada's conversation. Prabhupada is talking to a few of his American disciples. He says how the modern day man is so busy, he's running and rushing to his work, office, business, like this. He doesn't even have time to eat properly. He's eating the bread which is not even toasted properly, or just plain bread. 2 pieces of bread and little cup of tea and running. Like this is what busyness is. This busyness is of no use. Finally, what is the purpose for what you're working so hard? Right? So like this, Prabhupada concludes by telling, destiny means whatever type of material happiness and distress you are supposed to get, you will get it. No matter what it is. In whichever way, it will come to you. You need not endeavor for that specifically. This was a very important principle Prabhupada explained. So for which the interviewer is going to have a very follow-up question. Prabhupada says, going to explain how destiny cannot be checked. Prabhupada explains in the context of the difference between modern civilization and Vedic civilization, how people are not busy with regard to increasing their material comforts and decreasing their material distress. Rather, they are only working towards spiritual progress. So when this point of Prabhupada mentioning that happiness and distress are all destined, material happiness and distress are destined, no matter whatever it is, you cannot change it. The interviewer is asking a follow-up question. How can you be so sure of that? So Prabhupada says, how shall I believe it? It's your question. Because you get some distressful condition, although you do not want it. Right? Nobody wants that, some bad things happens to us, or some disease will come to us. Some problem happens in life, but it happens. It's uninvited, but it happens. Right? So Prabhupada gives a very nice logic. Just like the distress comes uninvited, you don't want it. Similarly, happiness also comes. Prabhupada gives example of the famous example of how President Kennedy died with the hand of his own countrymen. Who wanted it and why did it come? Many incidents in our life which happen is all unwarranted. Many times we hear, oh, suddenly he passed away. Nothing is sudden. Oh, suddenly he met with an accident. It is all destiny. Destiny means your happiness and distress experience is all stored up. It will all unwind in course of time. Influence of Kala, everything will be, manifesting at specific situations. So what is stored up for us In one sense, in this body, is all fixed. That's what Prabhupada is trying to tell. Just like Kennedy was president of America, he was killed by his own countrymen. Who expected it? Nobody wanted it. Neither Mr. Kennedy wanted it, but he was killed. So Prabhupada further says, he was a great man. He was protected by so many, and still he was destined to be killed. Who can protect you? Right? Like this, in our case, we may put all our endeavors to save ourselves in whatever way possible, but destiny will take its course. Destiny is again the will of Krishna. So if the distressful condition comes upon me by destiny, then the opposite position, happiness, is also come. This is what scriptures say. Happiness, distress are all destined. Nobody can change it. So Prabhupada says, why shall I waste my time for this rectification? Actually, if you analyze human life, in our lives, everybody is trying to increase happiness, decrease distress. That's what our whole endeavor of our life is. The essence of our life is how to increase happiness, and happiness means from our understanding. Oh, having comfortable home, good family, having all the facilities which any modern man can have, work hard for that. That is called happiness. And try to avoid distress. Try to see that you somehow don't get any problems in life. That is what everybody is working hard for. So Prabhupada says, wasting your time for this rectification is of no use. Increasing happiness, decreasing distress, that you cannot change. What has to come will come. Prabhupada says, let me use my energy for Krishna consciousness. That is intelligent. So here, very interestingly, you can see, with regard to material destiny, things are all fixed up. Material destiny means type of body I have got. It's all fixed up. No matter whatever it is, I cannot change the way I look. Right? My beauty is fixed. My education is fixed. Where I was born is fixed. And what is going to happen with regard to my happiness, distress, from the material perspective is all fixed. Whatever you do, you cannot change it. But there is one more destiny called spiritual destiny, which is at your disposal every moment. Moment to moment, you can change it. Moment to moment, if you engage yourself in that activity of Krishna consciousness or devotional service, your spiritual destiny will change. Right? Spiritual destiny means your journey, what is going on from so many lifetimes in this material world, will come to an end. It is in your hand. Right? If you just go on working again and again in the material world to increase happiness, decrease distress, and whatever possible, you're working hard, maybe you'll get a better position next life. In the Bhagavata, it's nicely explained. You may get so much of pious credit that you'll go to higher planets, Swarga. After your pious credit is over, exhausted, again you have to come back. Prabhupada gives example of a Ferris wheel. Like, in fairs, we have a Ferris wheel. Sometimes it goes up and again it comes down. Like this, our life is going on. We are going Brahmana, Brahmanda Brahmana. And he's rotating up and down, sometimes as Devata, sometimes as human, sometimes as worm in stool. Like this, our life is going on. So this is what our whole journey of life going on now. In human form of life, you get the intelligence not to go on with this cycle of repeated birth and death in different shapes and forms. Let us put an end to this. That is what Prabhupada is trying to tell us here, that human form of life has opportunity to use our energy for Krishna consciousness. That is intelligent. Krishna consciousness means no more birth and death, no more experiencing material happiness and distress. You cannot check your destiny, material destiny, definitely not. Everyone will experience a certain amount of happiness and certain amount of distress. No one is enjoying uninterrupted happiness. That is not possible. As we discussed, everybody's endeavor is how to increase happiness. How to increase happiness. The modern day advertisement world is designed on this concept. How to enhance your material happiness, material comforts. Oh, buy this, take this. It will make your life very happy, comfortable. Modern day concept of advertisement is based on this principle. How to make you happy. So question is, being happy, is it is it something bad? No. It is actually nature of the soul is to be always happy. The Vedanta says, Anandamayo bhyasat. The nature of soul to be always blissful, joyful. But the material situation is making you experience distress again and again, repeatedly. Right? Even though you don't want, you are forced to experience distress. That is the problem. Right? And our body itself, you want to continue, it will not stay forever. You have to leave this body. Yesterday we were discussing in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is telling, Jara Marana Mokshaya. Right? We are all trying to come out of this problem of old age, Jara, and Marana, the old age, death. But nobody has any solution for this. Krishna says, only solution is Mam Ashritya Yatanti. You take shelter of me, then you'll be relieved of this Jara Marana Moksha. Right? Everybody wants uninterrupted happiness, but it is interrupted again and again. Somebody near and dear in the family falls sick or they pass away. Just morning, one of our staff was telling, tomorrow there is a marriage, Prabhu, I want to go. But suddenly we got a news today morning that the girl's side mother passed away. The marriage is called off. Yes, see, this is how life is. We want uninterrupted happiness, but it is interrupted again and again and again. That's the problem. So, Prabhupada is explaining this naked truth that we cannot have uninterrupted happiness in this material world. Just as you cannot check your distress, you cannot check your happiness, it will come automatically. So happiness and distress is something which all of us are experiencing every day. So don't waste your time for these things. Rather, you should utilize your time for advancing in Krishna consciousness. Understanding that I am spirit soul, I have a spiritual destination, and my spiritual destiny is in my hand. Let me utilize the time for advancing in devotional service. Right? So, a follow-up question which the interviewer asks is, would a Krishna conscious person not try for any progress? Like Prabhupada said now, material happiness, distress are fixed up. Don't endeavor too much for increasing material happiness in the name of advancement, progress, and opening different things, doing that and this. Prabhupada says, skyscraper structures and big cars, roads, all these things. Why? I want to become more happy, more comforts. And this is the way people are going on. So Prabhupada says this is of no use. Like this, we have been enjoying, experiencing happiness in different ways, in different life, different species. Just because I have got a human form of life, my valuable human energy should not be used for this. So the follow-up question which the interviewer is asking is, so you are telling spiritual progress. Do the practitioners of the spiritual discipline, they also make any progress? What do you say? For the question. Prabhupada says, the thing is that if you try for progress vainly, then what is the use of that? Right? Progress, actually, again, is having its own connotations from the modern concepts, modern way of thinking. Progress, they think, progress in terms of getting more, earning more money, getting more material comforts. Prabhupada has been telling categorically that it is not progress. If it is a fact that you cannot change your destiny, then what is the use of trying? Right? It is very, that's why scriptures say, right? Your happiness, distress is fixed up. Just do your duty. What is essential to maintain your body and soul. And also, if you are having a family, to maintain them. That's it. Not that I will over endeavor to increase the standard of my living from the material point of view. That is not the concept. Right, right now, the whole way of running of everybody, Prabhupada says, dog's race is that you have to run and compete with others and increase your, material comforts. We cannot. Competition is happening. My neighbor is got a big house, big bungalow. I'm still in a rented house. I want to have my own house. Right? My colleague has got a big car. I want to also have a big car. Like this, in every step, there is a sense of competition. It's called dog's race. Right? They're not satisfied with what Lord has given us and use our time for our spiritual progress. That is the problem. So Prabhupada says, if it's a fact that you cannot change your destiny, your material happiness, distress, you cannot change, what is the use of trying for it? Let me try, let me do this, let me do that. People are just running after. We will be satisfied with the amount of happiness and distress for which we are destined. This is the principle in which Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita repeatedly. Right? Yadricha labha santushto dvandva atito imatsaraha. One statement in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, whatever comes of its own accord, I am satisfied. I'll be doing my duty. Right? Maybe with my duty, I had some expectation that I will earn 1 lakh rupees, but Lord's will, I got 10,000 rupees, I'm happy, satisfied. That's how the spiritual perspective should be. Right? And result is left to Krishna. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadach. I do my duty, result left to Krishna. Whatever happens is Krishna's desire. I'll be satisfied with whatever comes. This is a very, very wonderful perspective, spiritual perspective, which will make a person very peaceful. He'll not be in a dog's race of competition. And, this competition is going to increase your blood pressure. And it's going to increase all your peace of mind. The physical ailments which people are experiencing is all because of so much of stress which they are taking in the name of increasing material comforts. They're working hard, they're planning this, doing that, and running around, using their vitality of the energies what they have is being used like this, which is supposed to be used for their spiritual progress. That is the irony of this present age. Prabhupada is telling very nicely, we should be satisfied with whatever amount of happiness which we are destined, right? But we go on doing our duties. Vedic civilization is meant for realization of God. That is the point. So devotees' way of working is not that they are lazy. Prabhupada explains. You'll still find in India that during important festivals, many millions of people are coming to take part in the Ganges because they are interested in how to become liberated. Very important perspective. Sometimes people think, what is the use when Kumbh Mela happens or people go for pilgrimages? Why are they doing that? Because their whole intention, their whole perspective of life is spiritual progress. If I go and take a dip in the holy rivers, I'll have some spiritual benefit. It's like a materialist thinks, a businessman thinks, how I can earn money in every transaction. Vedic perspective is, a human being is trying to see a person who is sober. He's thinking how in every step of my life I can earn spiritual benefit. This is the point. So Prabhupada is giving the example during Kumbh Mela or many such occasions in the holy places where how millions of people come to take darshan or to have a dip in the holy waters or get the glimpse of Lord, darshan of Lord. Why? Because they want to spiritually progress. It is again reconfirms the point that how in India there are traditions, there are cultures wherein festivals are celebrated. Why? Because people are reminded again and again, yes, this is meant for your spiritual progress. Right? Diwali, we celebrated recently. Is why? What is the reason? Our life is filled with darkness of ignorance and lust, anger, greed. So with Diwali, we have to understand that Lord's wonderful Leelas have happened. Lord Rama came back to Ayodhya. People were so happy Lord has come back in our kingdom. And that when we have Krishna, Rama in our kingdom, in our hearts, he will light up our existence. This is the remembrance. Every festival is again a remembrance for all of us. It's a reminder for all of us to again and again understand that I am spirit soul. I am part and parcel of Supreme Soul, Krishna, Lord Rama. We have to go back to him. So these festivals, these various activities every day are meant to remind again and again about our spiritual existence. The modern day civilization is totally in oblivion of these things. Right? This is what Prabhupada is saying. So everything in the Vedic civilization is designed around these various aspects of reminding the human beings again and again about their spiritual duties. Right? You may forget, but the festival will remind you. You may forget that, my spiritual activities is like this. So at least you go to a pilgrimage place, you start doing, so many people are taking bath, especially in Kumbh Mela time. So it's bitter cold. But people do take bath. Why? Because that is going to give them spiritual progress. Voluntarily, they take up austerities. Right? So like this, when a person from the material perspective, he says, oh, what are they doing? Foolish. No, they're not foolish. They are actually working hard to earn spiritual benefit. Right? They are not lazy. They are going thousands of miles, 2,000 miles away, take part in the Ganges. They are not lazy, but they are not busy in the dog's race. Right? Present day context, people are simply busy in dog's race. And their business is what? Just have to earn more money, more name, better position. People are just digging that way. Vedic perspective means how you can every moment utilize for your spiritual progress. Now this much I have gained, understanding, this much I have got mercy of Krishna. So Prabhupada says, don't waste a single moment. You have time other than your duties, you please chant Hare Krishna, read my books, Prabhupada says. Why? Because everything what is at our disposal is our time. And whatever best way you can use it for our spiritual progress is our gain. Right? That is what is going to count in our life at the end of our life. So Prabhupada says very nicely. Rather, in the Vedic civilization, people are busy right from their childhood trying to become self-realized. This is the way Vedic civilization was structured. The parents, the elders knew what is the purpose of life. They're training their subordinates also in that way, same line. Children are taught from the very beginning, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Komara acharet pragnyo dharman bhagavatani. They are so busy that they want to begin the business from their very childhood. Right? Whereas in the modern day context, if you see, neither the parents know, nor the elders know, they're all busy in their own world. Children are left to themselves, they are also misled. And when they grow up as adults, same thing continues. That is the modern day problem. Right? So Prabhupada has established this institution of Iskcon, Hare Krishna movement, to intervene in everybody's lives, in whatever stage they are in. A child can participate, an adult can participate, a very elderly person can participate, anybody can participate and get the benefit. Because this intervention is supposed to be happening at the home level. Government is supposed to do this, but it is not happening because nobody is trained. So Prabhupada has started this movement. In fact, one of the purposes which Prabhupada mentions is that systematically educate people in every walks of life based on the principles of Gita and Bhagavata, so that they can understand the value of human life. Yes, see, that's an important, wonderful, movement which Prabhupada has started to benefit everybody. Otherwise, we're all going in one direction, don't know what we are doing. Just like there is these lambs, the sheep, once one sheep goes and falls in a ditch, everybody follows. All other sheep behind they follow. Like that, all of us think, oh, this is advancement. This is what we should do. This is what we should do. We're running like that. But we are blinded by this, Western civilization and advancement, all these things, and don't understand what is the purpose of our life, real purpose of our life. So Prabhupada is, trying to tell us the training has to happen from the very beginning. So it is wrong conception to think that we are lazy or the spiritualists are lazy. In fact, they are working hard, more hard than anybody, 24 hours. So Prabhupada is further explaining about how when devotees, or rather when the practitioners are endeavoring for spiritual destiny, how Lord intervenes or Lord helps. Then the question may be raised, the follow-up question from the interviewer, then the question may be raised, if the destiny cannot be checked, then why not let every newborn child simply run around like an animal, and whatever is destined to happen to him will happen? Very intelligent question, right? If it's all destined, happiness, distress, then why we have to work also? Simply let it happen whatever way it is. The child is born and just let him go around, not even go to school and not even do anything. Let it happen. Happiness, distress is destined. It is a question. Very interesting question. Right? So Prabhupada answers, no, the advantage is that you can train him spiritually. This is the point. So, in the human form of life, you have spiritual duties. And also, spiritual duty includes maintaining your body, maintaining your family. Right? When Arjuna wanted to take sannyasa and leave the battlefield and go away, Krishna chastised him. He told him, what are you doing? You're talking like a fool. You do your duty of a Kshatriya, then fight as a Kshatriya. That is your devotion to me. Right? Like this. So, point is, you've got a human form of life. Human form of life is coming with some responsibility. You cannot say, I'll not do anything, I'll just simply do like any other animal. Be free and no. You have a responsibility. Right? You have to fulfill the responsibility, you have to move forward. And the responsibility is all clearly listed in the scriptures, given in scriptures. What is my spiritual duties, right? So based on those principles, we have to work. That's why Prabhupada is saying, advantage is that you can train him spiritually. Therefore, it is said, tasyeva heto prayateta kovida. You should engage your energy for self-realization. Right? Ahituki apratihata. Devotional service, Krishna consciousness cannot be checked. Very nice point Prabhupada is going to make here now. Right? So we have to train ourselves spiritually. Spiritually means, doesn't mean you don't eat, you don't sleep. No. You eat, you sleep, you do all activities in a regulated manner for a purpose, for spiritual progress. That is the point. Not that we whimsically do anything, capriciously think in whatever way you want. No. It's all disciplined. It's all systematic. That's the point. That is called training. Training spiritually means the body, what we have, should be properly disciplined in a specific manner. Body means mind, senses, intelligence. All these things have to be systematically trained up to think in a specific manner, to to envision in a particular manner. So all these things have to be done. This only happens by spiritual culture. That's the point. So Prabhupada says the practice of bhakti cannot be checked. Spiritual practice cannot be checked. Once it starts, it's going to continue. Just as material destiny cannot be checked, advancement in spiritual life cannot be checked if you endeavor for it. Very wonderful point Prabhupada makes. Right? Material destiny, you cannot check. Similarly, if you endeavor for spiritual destiny or spiritual direction, that cannot be checked by anybody. Only check is yourself. Right? If you want to chant Hare Krishna, who can stop you? If you want to understand about Bhagavad Gita's various instructions, what Krishna has given, who can stop you? It's only our mind. It's only ourself. Right? Nobody, no energy or no force in this world can stop you from moving forward spiritually. The classic example of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad was born as the son of a great demon, Hiranyakashipu. But he was going on with his devotion. How many tribulations he had to face because of his father. His father was practically, has endeavored in so many ways to kill him in every situation. But he always went on with his devotion very determinedly, and he came out successful. Right? So this is the point. So bhakti, you should not think that, oh, somebody may comment something, somebody may tell something. No, it is all in your mind. It is. You have to understand that bhakti is something which is for my soul, spirit soul. I can do it. I will do it. This determination has to come. That's what Prabhupada is telling. Nobody can check your spiritual progress. Spiritual destiny is in your hand. And this is going to really change your whole perspective with regard to how your life will be going forward. And Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, a little endeavor done on this path is going to be the greatest saving grace for you. Actually, what is going on with regard to spiritual destiny is that Krishna is in direct control. Actually, Krishna will change destiny, but only for his devotee. It's a very important confidential principle which we have to understand. With regard to material destiny, it's like programmed already. Intervention of Krishna is nothing, because Krishna has already made laws, impersonal laws called laws of karma. And you and so many other people around you, everybody has to forcefully follow the law of karma. You cannot do anything. Oh, I want more happiness. No, you cannot get. Or I make somebody distress. It may momentarily look like, or circumstantially look like, oh, you have won the case, you have won the situation. But eventually you have to face the reaction of it. That is called laws of karma. So laws of karma are governing each and every one of us, keeping us bound in this material world. So Krishna's intervention is in that way very remote in case of the material destiny of everybody. Whereas the spiritual destiny, what happens is, Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, when you start endeavoring to perform devotional service, Krishna becomes extremely pleased that we have turned our face towards him now. We are just trying to move forward in the direction towards Krishna. It's like, a child who is loitering here and there. At least it has enrolled itself into a school. At least it has a hope that moving forward, it will go forward in the school studies. That Krishna is very happy that now at least he has understood the importance of human life. He started the journey. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one who starts performing his spiritual activities, devotional activities in this way, Krishna helps him. Lord intervenes personally. That's the point. The Lord is personally taking care of such a person who is wanting to move forward in a spiritual journey. Very interesting and very important perspective we should have. In material life, Lord's intervention is neutral, nonsense. Whereas in spiritual life, Lord's intervention is very active. Prabhupada says only for his devotees, Krishna will change the destiny. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita about this destiny, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. I shall give you protection from all reactions of sinful activities. This is the final statement in the Bhagavad Gita. Last statement Krishna makes, that I am going to change your destiny and give you liberation, relieve you from all sinful activities. Just see. Material world, our destiny, nobody can give us this assurance. Oh, I will change your future. Krishna is telling, you follow the spiritual path, even your material destiny changes. Just see. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Otherwise, what is the hope? You're bound up with so many reaction cycles, sinful reactions, that you're completely entangled in the material world. Krishna is assuring, aham tvam sarva papebhyo. All the papas I'm going to relieve you, and I'll give you liberation. This is the destination which you're going to have, which means our spiritual destiny is changed fully. And spiritual destiny automatically changes our material destiny. That is the wonderful principle which Prabhupada is explaining here, that I will give you protection from all sinful activities. Krishna is assuring us. For instance, if one is condemned by the law code to be hanged, no one can check it. Right? Even our our experience, ordinary judiciary. Even the judge has passed the law, the order that he has to be hanged. Somebody has to be hanged. Nobody can check it. Even the same judge who has given his verdict cannot check it, right? But if the defendant begs for the mercy of the king, who is above all the laws, then the king can check it, right? King has that power. It's like president of a country has the power to overrule the order given by the judiciary also. So the king wants, he can change the law. Similarly, Prabhupada explains, therefore, our business is to surrender to Krishna. Krishna is that supreme personality who can change the laws in our life. So we have been discussing that material destiny cannot be changed. But material destiny also can be changed provided Krishna wills. Because it is under his control, finally. Impersonally it is acting, but when you take to spiritual path, when you want to change your spiritual destiny, then Krishna will automatically alter your material destiny to see that it'll go in line with your spiritual destination. That's what is going to happen in a person who is going to surrender to Krishna. So therefore, our business is to surrender to Krishna only, nothing else. If you artificially want to be happier by economic development, that is not possible. It is all temporary, material type of happiness. Prabhupada is giving example. So many men are working so hard, but does it mean that everyone will become a Henry Ford, a Rockefeller? Everyone is trying his best. Right? Everybody is trying to become more and more rich and more opulent, but only few succeed. Mr. Ford's destiny was to become a rich man, but does it mean that every other man who has worked as hard as Ford will become a rich man like Ford? No. This is practical. Very wonderful example Prabhupada is giving. Right? Sometimes some bestsellers come in the market. Somebody has become very successful in his life. He writes a book, the formula for success, right? How to become a successful businessman, or how to, even nowadays in social media, it is becoming advertised like that. You can do this and you'll become very successful. You'll become very rich. But it's only, again, it's law of averages. Few of them become successful. He's generalizing it. That is the problem with that. Right? Because everybody is going through some destiny, material destiny in their lives. Somebody will say, I also tried, but I didn't become rich. I didn't become successful. Right? This is the problem. So Prabhupada is giving an example of Mr. Ford, how he was just trying to become rich. He endeavored something and he became rich in that way. So that was his destiny. But everybody trying like that, again, will not become rich. You cannot change your destiny simply by working hard like an ass or a dog. But you can utilize that energy for improving your Krishna consciousness. Right? The example of Prabhupada's, in the previous session, Prabhupada says, a high court judge is sitting on the bench and is simply sitting and passing judgments. Down below, the attendants are thinking, he's getting 10 times the salary I'm getting, and I'm working hard, doing so many things. Right? So people are thinking, see, he's not doing anything and is getting a lot of money. I'm doing so much working hard and not even getting 1/10 of the money. People think you should work hard and earn money, do that, and do this. People don't know the law of karma working, destiny, how it is all working in everybody's life. So don't waste your time for all such material endeavors unnecessarily. Try to improve your Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is telling. So with this, Prabhupada is going to have this last discussion with the interviewer. So this interviewer is asking, exactly what is Krishna consciousness? Could you tell us more? Prabhupada says, Krishna consciousness means love of God. If you have not learned to love God, then what is the meaning of your religion? You're telling you're professing a religion, but you don't even have love for God, then that is not religion. When you're actually on the platform of love of God, you understand your relationship with God. I am part and parcel of God. This is called religion, right? Love of God means I'm very intimately connected with God. I'm part and parcel of God. So Krishna explains, Mamevamsho jiva loke jiva bhutasana. And every living entity is part and parcel of God. That way, you have that harmony and compassion on every other living entity. Then you extend your love to all the animals also. Just like in a family of brothers and sisters, all of them share that bondage of affection and love. If you actually love God, then your love for the insect is also there. Because we know that every living entity is God's child. You understand this insect has a different body, but he is also part and parcel of my father. Therefore, he is my brother. You see, the understanding. Then you cannot maintain a slaughterhouse. No father will agree. This son is useless. To the eldest son, he will tell this son is useless. You cut him and eat him. No. So this all is other activities of maintaining the slaughterhouse and killing is all done by us. God has never sanctioned this. Very silly. If you maintain a slaughterhouse and disobey the order of Christ, thou shalt not kill, and you proclaim yourself Christian or Hindu, that is not religion. Right? Religion means you follow the order of God. You're openly disobeying the order of God and doing all nonsense, and you claim yourself to be following the religion. That is wrong. It is simply a waste of time because you do not understand God. Right? You have no love for God and you are labeling yourself under some sect. That is no real religion. That is going on all over the world. Right? So, this interviewers wanted to know what is Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is saying to give us a perspective. Krishna consciousness is the real religion. Anything else, what is going on in the world, is only in the name of religion. People are doing so many things that it is unmentionable. Because they don't know what is the order of God. That is the problem. Further, Prabhupada explains with regard to the follow-up question of the interviewer, how can we cure the situation? How can we solve the situation in the present-day society? Prabhupada says, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. If you do not accept then that Krishna is supreme entity, then try to understand, at least understand the philosophy of what Krishna is saying. That is education. There is someone supreme. Krishna is not Indian, he is God. Right? It's a common sense understanding. There is some authority should be there in this whole existence who is controlling everything. If you don't accept Krishna, at least understand it is some supreme. This education is lacking presently. The sun rises first in the India, but that doesn't mean that sun is Indian. Right? Sun is for everybody. Similarly, although Krishna appeared in India, now he has come to the Western countries through this Krishna consciousness movement. So basically, Prabhupada wanted to tell how following the principles given in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata is the only cure. Now, Krishna, just because Lord Krishna was born in India doesn't mean he's Indian. He is universal. Every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. So accept this Krishna conscious principles. That is going to solve all the problems. Two problems of irreligion, which was discussed, and the problem of running a dog's race. These are two questions which was asked. Right? And to Prabhupada answer, solution is accept the Krishna conscious principles and lead a life of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so we'll conclude. This is the end of this topic, human society and animal society. We'll take up a new topic in the next session. So meanwhile, if anybody has anything to ask, discuss, comment, we'll take a few questions now. Taji, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji, today this material destiny and spiritual destiny is a very interesting aspect.
Yeah.
And it needs a lot of brooding.
Yes.
We have to ponder over it.
Yes, exactly.
And say as a human being, we cannot leave things as it is. Leave things to the destiny. We have to make efforts.
No, not destiny means, see again, Gupta, you have to understand, you have to do your duty.
Yeah, duties we have to do.
Doing duty also is your destiny.
And that is true.
Example is given, just like you have money in the bank in your account.
Hmm.
Unless you are authorizing that money has to be given to this person, to the bank will not release.
True.
That is called duty from your side. Destiny is that money has to go, right? Money has to go how? Only with your duty of doing it. If you don't do the duty of sending the check or whatever modern way of communication to the bank to release the money will never go. Which means again you
Very
will
true.
get entangled and new destiny will be found for you. You owe some money to somebody and you don't pay it. The destiny profile again changes for you. Oh, you owe that money, your liability increases. Your debts increase with regard to the person whom you're supposed to pay money. So duty means you're destined to get some material happiness and distress. That is all fixed. Nevertheless, when you take up spiritual activity or spiritual destiny or want to move forward, Krishna will alter the material destiny also to suit
So
your spiritual
right.
progress.
I see destiny playing the role.
Uh,
Say when we have to decide on something,
mm,
every action we take, we do it after a lot of thoughts,
mm,
and there are several options are there,
mm,
and we choose the one
mm.
which will lead to our predefined destiny.
Of course, that is a very valid point what you have told. But thing is again, a lot of thought process which we do should be again in line with what Krishna is telling, what Prabhupada is telling, what Acharyas say. Then that will lead to the proper destination.
Very true.
Given a choice
Very,
of given a choice of your speculation and authorized direction,
very
right?
true.
Then you should
That
accept
is,
authorized direction because authorized direction will lead you to the right direction, right path.
yeah. If spiritual destiny is also active,
Hmm.
then you would be led to the right
Exactly. That's what
course of action.
Prabhupada wants to tell us. See,
Yeah,
mental
that is
destiny
what.
is way going on. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a auto mode going on in one
Mhm.
sense. Auto mode going on in your body. You have a spiritual destiny becoming activated in your life. That is going to change your material destiny also. Just like it's said, spiritual destiny is like putting the horse before the cart, right?
Very
When
true.
you're actively you are moving forward towards spiritual destination. Krishna is maybe as a from your material perspective, you may be a person who would like to Hare Krishna. From the material point of view, maybe say maybe I am destined to earn 1 crore rupees in my life. But when I taken up Krishna's service and I want to build a big temple for Krishna, which is 1,000 crores, it is beyond my capacity. But Krishna will empower you. Oh, yes. It's like Prabhupada always said, I went with 40 rupees to America. But Prabhupada says in a lecture after 1974, he says, I am a person having 40 crore worth assets all over the world. Where is 40 rupees? What is 40 crores? Materially, you may not be destined to, have any such things. But for Krishna, Krishna is the owner of everything. He can accordingly see that everything is, is altered and taken care in your life. That's the point. Which means, materially, you may be lifting 10 kilos, but Krishna service you're doing, Krishna is making you lift 1,000 kilos. That's the point. Ordinarily, which is impossible for you, Krishna will bestow all the required energy, powers, money power, the knowledge power, everything, and he will empower you to do things which is beyond your limit, beyond your capacity. That's the point. That's the point.
And
Okay.
another thing, when I learned about spiritual destiny, this also defines a lot of things which happens without our knowledge. Suddenly you get an intuition. You must act now on something which you have never planned. So I think all these things are mercy of God, that which guides you do something differently and special. So So those kind of urges that often you get. So these are all because of spiritual destiny. You got my point. Sometimes, say you do something or you act something happen which you had never planned, never thought of. एक तो इसको जो है ना